Hey, welcome back. The long await is over. Friday nights in the Valley are about to get a whole lot more fun. The spectacle that is the Alabama high school football season is back, and so are we. Every week, starting here in week 0, we bring you all the big-time matchups, explosive plays, and heartwarming storylines of the season. And every Thursday, join me right here for the preview of the week ahead. So strap in, get ready. The high school football season is here. It all starts tonight right here on the 48 Blitz Preview Show.
This is the 48 Blitz Preview Show, sponsored by Landers McLarty Chevrolet, Annette Hales Indoor Comfort Systems, and Circle K Inner Circle Rewards.
Welcome in, everyone, to our Week 0 edition of our 48 Blitz Preview Show. I'm your host, Cam Derr. Well, the suspense is over. It all kicks off tonight. The first time since December that we've seen any high school football action. With a new year, brings along some new expectations. For some teams, those expectations are higher than ever. Only 2 reigning state champions will start out this season ranked number 1 in their respective classifications. That's Class 7A's Central Phoenix City, and none other than the back-to-back reigning state champions, the Fife Red Devils, who start out at the top of their class in their return to Class 3A. Fife, they're about as good as it gets, the standard when it comes to championship football in North Alabama. Head coach and Fife High alum Paul Benefield has built a football powerhouse within the state. Back-to-back state champs, the Red Devils will make the jump to Class 3A from 2A football. But it's not new territory for the Fife Red Devils. They won a Class 3A title when they made the jump back in 2020.
10, 15 years ago, just struggling, trying to win a second-round game, and we stumbled on something that our offense that just was made for us, and a group of kids that work hard in the weight room every day, and real special. It's just more special than any. They don't even, they take it for granted, I'm sure, but someday they'll realize just what's happened.
But they're not the only ones from the Valley who have projected success this season. One other local team is expected to take over Class 2A in 2024. The Pisgah Eagles have been a force in Class 2A, and in the last 3 seasons have just 3 losses in region play. This year, the direction Pisgah is trending earned them some recognition, landing them the number 1 spot in preseason rankings for the first time in the history of the program. The Eagles were just 1 game away from a state title appearance in back-to-back seasons, but at the hands of the eventual back-to-back Class 2A champions from Fife, their season came to a close. Pisgah offense, though, last season they were lethal, one of the best in the team's history, breaking a school record for total points scored with 652 in 2023. That averages out to over 46 points per outing, doubling what was allowed by the defense last season. Flying into this year, the team returns 18 players hungry to get over that state semifinal hump, and so this season just might be the year of the Eagle. Some of our other local teams are making their case for the best in their respective classes, 11 of which have landed themselves inside the preseason top 10 in the state. We begin in Class 1A. The Hackleburg Panthers are the only local team ranked in the state in that class. They head into this upcoming season ranked top 5 in 1A after an 11-2 overall record last year, earning the Region 8 title for the first time since 2017. We head over to Class 2A, and as I mentioned, Pisgah, they sit as the number 1 overall team in the state for their class, but joining them is another flock of Eagles. Decatur Heritage finds themselves ranked as the 7th best team in Class 2A, even after making the move from Class 1A this season. We head on over to Class 3A, and this is where it gets real interesting. It's where North Alabama really seems to shine. How about 4 local teams finding themselves ranked inside the top 10? The Fife Red Devils own the top spot despite making the move from Class 2A to 3A. The Mars Hill Bible Panthers land in the top 5 after a 10-2 season a year ago, but Geraldine and Sylvania also fall inside the top 10 in their class after a pair of history book seasons from a year ago. And in Class 4A, lists the Madison Academy Mustangs in the top 5 in their return to the class this season. They finished last year as the state runner-ups in Class 3A. As of now, the Mustangs hold it down as the only team in the Valley to make the rankings list. However, the Deschler Tigers, Brooks Lions, West Morgan Rebels, and Westminster Christian Wildcats have all received votes. And Class 5A has a pair of teams that are predicted to make some noise this season. Gunnersville lands in the top 3 in the class following a Region 7 championship season, plus Fairview comes in as the number 9 team in preseason for Class 5A. And finally, in Class 6A, the Muscle Shoals Trojans rank as the number 8 team in a tough class. There's a number of thrilling matchups on deck for the first Friday of the high school football season, but only one can be our 48 Blitz Game of the Week. And this one features a pair of top 10 teams in the state and what will be a rematch from last season's second-round playoff game. The Mustangs from Madison Academy welcome in the Mars Hill Panthers for our very first 48 Blitz Game of the Week.
Game of the Week is sponsored by Kennedy & Sons Structural Solutions.
The last time these teams faced each other, just a one-possession contest that ended in favor of the Mustangs a season ago. Madison Academy went on to finish the year falling short in the state title game. And this year, they returned to the Class 4A level for the first time since the 2021 season, where they finished 12-2 that year and reached the state semifinals. But aside from the challenge of a consistent playoff power on the other sideline this week, the Mustangs will go into week 0 down their kicker and will rely more heavily on their airtight defense, who allowed just 16.5 points all year last season on average. Meanwhile, on the other sideline, Coach Higgins and his Panthers have a bitter taste left in their mouths after last year's early exit. But Mars Hill will have to combat the loss of a big chunk of their key players on Friday night and look to their youth on their team to step up and make a big impact. The Panthers have been one of the premier teams in North Alabama since stepping on the scene in 2014 and have put together 6 straight 10-plus win seasons. Here's the matchup. We look at it by the numbers, a matchup we could not resist as our game of the week. The Panthers and the Mustangs will meet again in week 0. Here is the matchup by the numbers. Both these teams very similar strengths, a high-scoring offense and defense that keeps points off the board. Pretty good recipe there. Both offenses averaging over 45 points per game with a combined 1,275 points scored last season. Kickoff set for tomorrow night at Madison Academy at 7 o'clock p.m. Then we're back every Friday with coverage beginning at 4 o'clock tomorrow from our Game of the Week. Don't forget, next week begins our Play of the Week voting as well as our Athlete of the Week. Guys, it's only just begun. Join me here every Thursday right at 7:20 for the 48 Blitz preview show. But stick around, because right after this and right after every preview show on Thursdays, the premiere of an all-new series to 48 Sports, one that takes you beyond the lights. Here's a sneak peek at that. Thank you for joining me. Good night.
Coming this fall, a new series from WAFF 48 Sports.
High school football is not just about the football team. It is about a community.
Watch as we give you exclusive week-to-week access to one area team's road to the playoffs.
I'm a senior, time's almost up.
You know, it's the last ride, this is it.
We're all tasked with this. Leave it better than you found it.
Beyond the Lights, Athens.
Oh, and one last thing. Be sure you stay up to date all season long with the 48 Sports Zone app, where scores, previews, highlights, and so much more, all at your fingertips. Go on and download free in the App Store. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching the 48 Blitz Preview Show, sponsored by Landers McClarty Chevrolet, Annette Hales Indoor Comfort Systems, and Circle K Inner Circle Rewards.